Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, Mini Motorways. We are off to Rio de Janeiro for today's daily challenge. We will get one of each upgrade, and that's it. And some colors of destinations are always circles. That doesn't sound like a great combination, if we're being honest with ourselves. But, you know, it might be fine. It's at least, conceptually possible that it winds up being fine for a while. It won't be fine forever, of course. That's kind of the central theme of both Mini Motorways and life. But, it'll be fine for a... Well, it was fine for exactly one moment. It was fine for an instance. And it is now no longer fine. So, great. Let's run the greens. Down that way. Peter S. has dropped a Crab Brave. Thank you, Peter S. Oh, goodness. Do we want to use our 1 and exactly 1 roundabout, or our 1 and exactly 1 tunnel, or our 1 and exactly 1 bridge to do this ridiculous nonsense? I guess the roundabout makes the most sense for now. We'll take our 20 road tiles. God, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's Monday, after all. It's Monday, and it's not like we've started a new intercontinental geopolitical conflict that's going to embroil us in a decade of terror or anything. Nonsense. It's just Monday. Oh no, I obliquely referenced the horrors. Oh goodness. Alright, so we got these yellows. This yellow right here. What exactly are we gonna do about that? We're gonna decide that it's actually better to use our 1 and exactly 1 tunnel rather than our 1 and exactly 1 roundabout. That's what we're gonna do. You're gonna come down here, we'll do that. And now having done that, we can run the yellows like so, and the greens like so, and everything will be A-okay. There. Oh boy, more greens. Alright, yellows come up this way, bulldoze that tree, sorry about that tree. This green point that way, this green go that way. There. We're gonna make this look okay, damn it. Listen, Hulkamat, there was only so... Yeah, that's, yeah, I don't know. You could have phrased that one differently, but it's fine. Everything's fine. We're here. We're moving. It is Monday. I don't have to work today unless something comes up at work, which is a thing that happens, roughly 40% of the time I start a day not having to work on that day, but it would be nice if nothing came up today. So, we shall see. Oh, goodness. Put this over to here. Can a roundabout be inside of a tunnel? No. Sadly, no. That would be a horrible, scary situation for drivers if they were forced to intersect with a road via roundabout or traffic light or anything inside of a tunnel. The only thing you can do in a tunnel is you can have a turn. But you can't have, like, if I wanted to, say, branch this road off of here, we can't do that. No. You just have you do what the tunnel does, and that's about it. So, speaking of that being about it, that might be about it for this run. Real quick, let's see. What are we going to do about this? I think what I'm going to have to do is use our 1 and exactly 1 motorway. To do that, run these 4 purples. Thank you for spawning right there, Mr. Purple. These 4 purples shoop over this way. I don't love doing that. The alternative would be a little more complicated now because I waited, but it would have been to run purples from here out this way and down, or branch off right here. Use a traffic light there, but the 1 motorway will work for a minute. all of this will work for a certain amount of time, and then it won't work, and then we'll be done, and then it'll be time to play Wordle. You know. That's what everybody does when their traffic situation breaks down. They play Wordle. People have phones in cars. It's actually probably a true statement I just made. Hooray. I can say true things sometimes. Only sometimes, though. Alright, so these yellows come down here. We only have one house serving this business, which isn't great. It might, in fact, be considered bad, but suppose it's fine for the minute. Because if we steal this house from here, we'd have to steal a house from here, and then we'd have one house with a very long commute to get over to this business, and that's worse than the situation we currently find ourselves in. So, oh, big stretch. Do you know what is a fun game? Magic the Gathering is a fun game if you are the kind of person who enjoys the mechanics of intricate and increasingly complex, every single iteration of them, card game, and also the possibility of spending a fair whack of money on something. But yeah, Magic is a good game. Played Magic with some friends yesterday, had a good time, got my shit beaten in a couple of times, and then I also lost. There was no victory to be had for the _Goog, but you know, there was fun. Fun counts as a victory of sorts, right? We're gonna go with that. What else we're gonna go with is the realization that we have yet another purple bastard being just a fucker. Jeez. Alright. So this red comes over here. That's not a problem at all. However, this purple's business is really problematic, actually. And obviously, like, this purple business in a vacuum is fine, because we can just do this and get these purple houses over here and know that nothing's the problem. But that then abandons this business, which really should not be abandoned. Like, you don't typically wanna abandon a business like that. Well, hold on. I've just had a terrible thought. What if we kill the tunnel, we put the entrance, we put the O. This is going to require some finesse, and by finesse I mean I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing yet. But it's going to start like this. Everybody go. This red's going to come over here. We're going to wait for all of these roads, especially this tunnel, to shoop away. Okay. Now, if you go there, the game says a motorway can't be placed there, but it is, in fact, lying. Alright, give me 20 road tiles. We're going to use our 1 and exactly 1 bridge to get this blue over here. We do have our tunnel back, so we can at least servicate this business. I think the multi-step build process here is going to result in this business dying before I can even deploy my ridiculous strategy. But oh boy, do I have a ridiculous strategy. Alright, you go over there. Now, we have 8 purple houses all in a box, right? What if we take motorway number 1? Actually, hold on. I'm not done yet. Let me cook. There. There's the answer. You want to be there, maybe? Yeah, you can be there, maybe. All right. Northwest spur, go that away. Western spur, go that away. Southwest spur, go that away. Northeast spur, go that away. Behold, the stupidest, pointlessest, not saving anythingest roundabout in the history of the world. Oh boy. Oh, this is awful. But, you know, it's, actually these businesses haven't died yet. I feel as though there was a very important operative word in that sentence, but, you know, we'll get there. You two reds, join this road, come down here. Everything shall be both hunky and dory for you. You come over this way. Green circle, eh? Well, listen, you've got 2 houses. I'm not going to fret about you overly much. Matter of fact, here. Let's do this. And now, you have 3 houses. How about that? You are the subtitle of a Fire Emblem game. You're not like that Fire Emblem game, mind you. Because, like, the one thing that the _Goog knows about the video game Fire Emblem : 3 houses is that there are, in fact, 4 houses. But, you know. Now listen, if I was to... No. I was thinking for a moment that I might be able to pull this yellow situation out of the roundabout, but I don't think that's feasible right now. This purple circle is, in some ways, the most screwed purple circle, which says a lot about how screwed the rest of my purple circles are. But adding a 3rd house here is going to help with that. I sort of can't believe that this roundabout idea is actually working, but full credit to me, the _Goog. This roundabout situation over here is actually kind of working. It's sort of being good about stuff. I don't get it either. All right, 20 more road tiles. This red has gone circular. That's bad and gross, actually. I think it's time to separate these red roads. They've had a lovely interconnected relationship for a grand many months or something, but now it is time for a conscious uncoupling, as they say. So you 5 red houses swing over this way, serve the circle. You 5 red houses swing down this way, take care of the square. That should be fine. Take care of the square is what a mob boss says when telling his enforcer it's time to off the geek. Off the Geek is title of the episode, I guess. Alright, these circles are still hanging in there being okay. These 3 are sort of less so, but only sort of. Ooh, hi there. You're a rather ucky blue thingy, but we make do with what we've got, I guess. You come over to here. We make do with what we've got is the motto of the condensation factory. It's not wrong. You come over here. We'll get these blues. These blues are going on a trip and a half here. Or perhaps not. Perhaps a different trip. Let's run this and these. I think we're going to have to get a little bit screwy with roads right down here. Like if you were to come out here and then go off that away, we could swing these blues in this manner and suddenly this is a perfectly cromulent traffic light. Yeah! Surprising, but functional, sort of. We just dip this down to the south, make it so that they approach and turn right, and suddenly we have a bigger, more fucked problem, actually. Well, Garbo. Let's see here. How best to solve this problem? I think it's time to do something else. You are gonna come this way, actually. You're all just gonna run up along like so. So now we have the 11 of you swinging over to there. And that doesn't actually solve that well. Hold. Because now we can run you. Oh, no. Nope, that's the northern expanse of the map. Motherfucker. And we can't... Yeah, I wanted to go one tile further north and swing down, but no. It is not to be done. So, I think, unfortunately, we're just going to have this terrible intersection right here. And we're going to have to do this with a PCTL like so. This right here would be a halfway decent spot for a roundabout, but, you know, there would also be halfway decent spots for a second road and a bridge and all manner of other things that we'd love to have and are not actually going to have. Speaking of things that we'd love to have and are not actually going to have, I think we're going to have a problem as regards these blues. We're going to have to do this just to get more blue going up over to this situation, which will have the tack-on effect of screwing over this red circle, but gotta do what we gotta do, you know? We're just gonna keep piling blue onto the road here, and it's gonna... Ow. My nose. It's gonna have to wind up being fine. Ordinarily, I might apologize for anyone who can hear the faint buzzing of the table fan I have next to me, but one, I'm pretty sure nobody can actually hear the faint buzzing of that table fan over the game sounds and Goog yappings and embedded music and the overflow of the music from my computer speakers into the microphone and general bad audio production. So, one, I don't think you can hear it, and two, it's hot. It's entirely too hot. It's not like powerful, painfully middle of the day 100 degrees hot or nothing, but it is, 72 degrees and muggy at 7:17 in the morning. So we're going to count that as hot. We're also gonna realize that these purples have run out of time. Their doom is imminent. Well, that's a problem. Is there anything we can do about that? Imminent doom-wise? Sort of. I mean, we can make a real bad situation even worse for other people, which, is the essence of the country and all of that. What if we do this? That gets 3 more purple houses involved. Does kind of royally screw over this green circle, but fuck that green circle. What'd that green circle ever do for us? Next, while we're here just screwing stuff over, I think the next best thing to do is just kind of stapulate this road in this manner so as to serve this business, sort of. Please don't look too hard at whatever's going on here in the northwest corner. It might not, it's not even functional, but it's what's there, okay? It's all that can be said for it is that it is indeed what's there. Alright, we've added 3 more purple houses to the purple clusterfuck, and somehow the purple clusterfuck is still fucked, which at this point I think is just rude. I think you're being insulting. You haven't thanked me for my generosity enough, and therefore I'm going to let Vladimir Putin conquer you. Or at least try to. He appears to be struggling with it, which is weird, but hey. I don't know shit about shit. You go over there. What else can we do for these things here? I don't have my bridge, so I can't really get the $10 billion houses over here to go up that way. It's a reference to the sporting franchise, the Los Angeles Lakers. Their primary colors are purple and yellow, and they were also recently purchased by some gazillionaire for the approximate price of $10 billion. This has been Goog Explains Goog's References. Alright, this blue can swing up there, join this nightmare, as can this red and this red. That'll be okay. This red is the name of the protagonist of The Handmaid's Tale, right? That's the name? Okay. It's not. It's off red. I know that. Is it pronounced off-red or of-Fred? It's probably pronounced off-red so as to mask the naming culture of the... Yeah. Could be wrong about that. Haven't actually seen or read any of that, but knew enough to make that one joke. It's all you need, really. This yellow here can spawn over that away, be ever so slightly more efficient. Not going to actually have a material impact on things, but we're going to feel better about doing things more efficiently, which is what matters. It's the managing philosophy of the Boston Red Sox. In a related story, we lost. So, but hey, 1,513 commuters, considering we only got one of everything, I think that actually turned out okay-ish. That feels like a good score considering. Top 15% in the world is good. Doubled up, Samurai Sam. Oh my. Drop those GGs in the chat. Hey, you know what occurs to me that I'm going to have, that is to say, I should remake the GG emote and the GT Goog Troop subscriber badges for the fact that I have a new, basically primary font of the channel. I should do that. Or perhaps I shouldn't. Or perhaps I should contract powers to do that. Thinkings and musings and such. All right. Where did our very good friend the Wordle go? Hello, Wordle. All right. It could be badge. It's not, but in the moment, it could have been. And now we shall figure out what it is. It's not going to be podge, obviously, because there's no G or E, but it could be modem? No, there's no E. We just established that, in fact. It could be... No, it can't be radio. There's no A. I mean, no, it can't be buddy because there's no B, but it could be a Power Rangers enemy. It's not, but hey, we know that there's another D, and there's a Y. Okay. So... No, that doesn't make sense. I think it probably starts with D. Maybe? Huh. XDDXY. Hold on. That's possible. Or that feels a little likelier. I mean, there is a word that fits that structure. The problem is it's daddy, and we know it's not daddy because there's no A, and that fourth letter D has already been shown to be yellow. So it's probably not daddy. And dodoy isn't a word. Like, it's not that. Neither is Odoy. What about... It could be I something, but... It's not going to be Diddy. Huh. I was so close. Well... I mean, we've established that the D now has to be the second letter. So it is XDDXY, which is strange. Oddly? I mean, oddly fits the... It feels out of shape with what the Wordle's... Huh. It feels out of step with what Wordle usually does, because Wordle tends to avoid, like, oh, this is a word you know with a suffix on it. But on the other hand, this is a 3-letter word we know with a suffix on it. So, okay, I can see that. That makes a certain sense to me. All right, be gone, don't tell me the answer text, because if you know the answer, you should tell me the answer. The where of this is fairly obvious, though. We're at Abe's monument. I suspect we're supposed to know these gentlemen, and oh boy, I don't. Let's see here. What do we got for context clues? They're wearing pins. Gotcha. This guy here seems like he might be the most importantest one. However, this guy over here is presently commanding the attention of 4 of the fellas. So, okay. Boy, I don't know. I'm feeling 1960s. That seems about right with the suit fashion and the 60s, maybe 70s. Obviously, there was a fair bit of stuff with black folks in the Lincoln Memorial. They have history. Martin Luther King and all of that. I feel I would recognize Dr. King if he was in this photo. He's not. That having been said, I don't know. Is this guy important? Maybe. Yeah, we're just going to take a stab somewhere in the late 60s, and that'll have to be fine. All right. So we're in D.C. Like, the where of this, again, is quite easy. That's not the challenge here. That's an easy, 4,900 and change points. And can you get to 5,000? It depends where exactly you put your thing. All right. So, they're, like, inside the deal, too. So they're, like, here. They're pretty much at the little I have a dream marker. Yeah, they're basically right there. And we'll say that this is 19 and nice. How about that? It was 1963. Fair enough. Decent job. 5,000 points on the location. Next. All right. That's the flag of Turkey, isn't it? I'm a person who recognizes flags every now and then. So first stab, we're somewhere in Turkey. Specifically, we're at Genclik Parking, which, okay, that's probably just Turkish for general, actually. We're at the Ulker Bisküvileri, which is a nice place to get breakfast, actually. You go to the Bisküvileri, you get it on locks, anyway. Biscuit. That's the entire joke. My joke relies on you knowing the word biscuit and understanding that Bisküvileri sounds like it, sort of. This has been Goog Explains Goog's Jokes. All right. So we've got Turkish hard hat cops. Cool. Possibly weird army guys. Entirely possible. This is a ticket place for a train station? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we're at a train station in Istanbul in 1986. Could be wrong about all of the words in that sentence, but we're going to say we're in a train station in Istanbul in 1986. Hey, look. We have a train station in Istanbul in 1986. How about that? We are at a view of the entrance of Genclik Parki, the first urban park in Ankara, which is in fact in Turkey. That is in fact the Turkish flag. Good job, Goog. But it was in 1973. So I didn't get the year well, but okay. Decent enough. Next. Black and white photo times. Cool. General vaguely... Oh, wait, hold on. I'm sorry, Adam Scott here is the only person aware that there's a camera, but also he's wearing a beret and a Hitler stash. So this has to be pre-1939. I'm sorry. No man in a post-Hitler world would ever combine a beret and a Hitler stash. It's not a thing. It was a thing. I mean, honestly, if you forget that Hitler exists for just one moment, take all of your knowledge of the Holocaust and its related people who did it and such, and just set that to the side for one brief and shining moment, and allow yourself to examine this without that knowledge, you think, wow, that French artist looks like a prick. And then you come back with the knowledge of the Hitler stash, and it's like, oh God. But, all right. So probably pre-1939 on account of this guy. What language are we speaking here anyway? Russian? Maybe? Oh yeah, when you got this nonsense going on, no offense to the Cyrillic alphabet or nothing, but I'm just going to describe your text as nonsense and blithely move on with my life. Yeah, when you got this nonsense going on, you're looking at Russian. Okay. And we got Girlie magazines, and they got an awful lot of Girlie magazines at this newsstand, actually. Do you have other things going on? Oh, you also have pro-socialism flyers. All right, Girlie magazines and socialism is an excellent combination. In fact, Girlie magazines and socialism is now the title of the episode. It's going to be Girlie with an IE so as to indicate that they're, we're looking at the girlies. And not just, ooh, that's girly. Because, we're pro-feminism and all that, but also boobies. Don't ever, God. One of these days, doing a stream of consciousness morning show at 7:30 in the morning is going to get me in trouble. Until that day, where exactly are we in presumably Russia? This is the partisan Bisikli Sabatica. Okay. That doesn't help, but it was fun to say. Is this really Moscow? I don't know, man. They speak Russian in places other than Russia, right? Like, this feels a little more, generically. I was going to say generically Eastern Europe, and then Peter S. has come in and told us that it's Northern Serbia, which, I mean, I will now draw a circle that encompasses Serbia. And I think viewed through a certain lens, Northern Serbia fits into the definition of generically Eastern Europe, right? Because Sabatica is a thing? Is that a city in Serbia? Perhaps even the north of Serbia? Also, have I gone too far west? Is Serbia more like here? No, Serbia. I'm confusing Serbia and Syria, I think. Serbia is very much generically Eastern Europe, isn't it? It's like, it should be on the screen now. Hold on. Albania, Montenegro, Bosnia, Croatia, Slovenia, Hungary, Romania, Moldova, Ukraine, Belarus. Is it north? Is it further north? Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia? How far north do you go, Europe? Nope, now we're into Finland. And where the fuck did Serbia go? Oh, is it over here? Oh, is it over here next to Turkey? It might be over here next to Turkey. Shit. And there's Georgia and Azerbaijan and Armenia and Cyprus and Beirut. There's Syria. Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait, and Bahrain. But anyway, the fuck did Serbia go? Next to Montenegro. There it is. Okay. So Serbia is right here, which very much fits into the definition of generically Eastern Europe. All right. So apparently, the fact that this sign says Sabatica is an indicator that this is in northern Serbia. Perhaps even there is a part of Serbia that is called Sabatica. Also, hey, Kosovo got on the map. Good for you, Kosovo. I don't know enough about the geopolitics of Eastern Europe beyond remembering that there was a war there one time. Hey, look, Sabatica. There's a town in northern Serbia. We should probably do that. And for as pre-Hitlerian as this guy's mustache was, it does look vaguely 40s here. I mean, we're just going to say 1940 38 and say that you got as close to the line as possible, my guy. I don't feel great about that. This could be in the 50s. It was, in fact, in 1963, and we were on the wrong end of Serbia. Okay. Well. All right, fine. So what we have here is it looks like the army fucks were not being respectful of public transit. Shocking. And they tried to cut off the streetcar, and the streetcar is a streetcar, and slammed into the truck here. So that's what happened in this car accident. But now we have to figure out where and when we are, because that's the game we're actually playing. The streetcar is going to Central Station. Yep, it's going to these two places and the Central Station. And yeah, if we're in the Netherlands, we're probably in Amsterdam. These are good assumptions you're making. When was this? This feels very World War II, or possibly one, given the frayed nonsense around the photo here. But I mean, this is such a good quality photo. I kind of can't believe that this was taken in the moment in the 19-teens. That doesn't seem like the kind of thing that was possible at that time. I could be wrong about stuff. And I'm sure if I was a person who recognized military uniforms, I would take one look at this and be like, yes, that's the 158th Dutch Regiment, famous for their charge of Friezen Hill in World War I. It swung the door toward the victors, it did. But I'm not a person who recognizes military uniforms, so I can't say that. But yeah, we're thinking, oh God, the more I look at this, the less I think it's the 40s. Fuck, it is like 1919, isn't it? God damn it. All right, fine. We're in Amsterdam. It's 1919. I'm gonna say that it's World War I. It's gonna be World War II, and I'm gonna be annoyed. Already fully prepared for that. Let's say that we're there for no particular reason. This is going to be a shame. It was a shame. 1946. Should have stuck with your gut, Goog. All right. Last one. I think we're back in the US of A. Although that doesn't narrow it down much because the country's, big. Let's see here. So this has blue ribbon, baking powder, tea, and coffee. Interesting. Now this, hold on. Hi there, Jack. Perhaps we're not in the US of A. Interesting. So that's got baking powder, tea, and coffee. That's got frosted malted stuff. That's more. This is a very state fair atmosphere in this room, but So you're selling freezers, but in order to sell your freezers, you're giving away malted milkshakes or something. Interesting. Does this give anything away? This is from Dominion Photo Company of Vancouver, British Columbia. Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck you, Dominion Photo Company of Vancouver, British Columbia. You're gonna tell me that this American State Fair ass looking photo with a fucking Union Jack hanging in the corner is in fucking Western Canada? Also, there's another big sign that says British Columbia, so I think this American State Fair ass looking photo with a fucking Union Jack hanging in the corner was in fact in Western fucking Canada. Okay, fine. We're in Vancouver. It's 1946. 5:39. Whatever. Good Lord. 31,847, which seems halfway decent aside from the multiple times I missed multiple decades. It's fine. It's good. Well, for today's Immaculate Grid, we need Yankees and Giants and Twins and Nationals and dudes what played the outfield and dudes what had 200 or more hits in a season. A New York Yankee who accomplished the 200 hits feat is Joltin' Joe DiMaggio. A New York Yankee who played the outfield is also Joltin' Joe DiMaggio. However, we can't use the same guy twice. Sad. So instead, we'll say Clint Frazier. You're a New York Yankee who played the outfield. You're also a former Chicago White Sox dude, which I did not know, but good for you. San Francisco Giant who played the outfield is Carlos Beltran. Minnesota Twin who played the outfield is Corey Koski. They stuck you in a corner at one point, didn't they, Corey Koski? They sure as hell did. All right. Twin who also played for the Nationals is Bartolo Colon. That is a true fact. A San Francisco Giant who played for the Nationals is the big unit, Randy Johnson. Wow, 32% for... Really? I mean, I'm surprised that many folks who went for that square hit Randy Johnson for it, but okay. Randy Johnson would also fit this square as a Yankee who played for the Nationals, but instead we'll go with his cousin Nick. I don't think there's any relation between Randy Johnson and Nick Johnson, but Nick Johnson is a Yankee who played for the Nationals. I think he's also a Yankee who played the outfield, but, Clint Frazier exists. All right, now, these next two and last two are going to be a little more tricksy, which is part of the reason I've saved them so late. We need a San Francisco Giant who amassed 200 or more hits in a season. And Barry Bonds was a historically great San Francisco Giant, but he also walked a lot. It's part of what made him so historically great, don't you know? But the fact that Willie Mays existed. Never mind, this is easy. As soon as you remember that Willie Mays existed, that square becomes very easy. Fucking 70% of the correct answers went for Willie Mays. Okay, yep. As soon as you remember that Willie Mays exists, becomes very easy. All right, now, I guess Rod Carew, maybe, as a Twin who got 200 hits. Rod Carew was a dude who would get a lot of hits and also was a Minnesota Twin. I don't remember if he was still excellent when he was with the Minnesota Twins, though, is the thing. He absolutely could be a dude in that square, but... let's see here. Kirby Puckett might fit the square. He wasn't, super awesome. And also he was a shithead, and we don't like using shitheads. So... oh, boy. What about... Chuck Knobloch, maybe? I know I just said we don't like using shitheads, and we still don't like using shitheads, but maybe Chuck Knobloch? I don't think Chuck Knobloch might have been a 200 hits in a season type guy. Torrey Hunter was a 200 hits in a season type guy, but again, shitheads. What is it with the Minnesota Twins and developing shitheads? It's weird. Justin Morneau was a very good hitter for a while with the Twins, but he was also a draw a bunch of walks guy. So, I don't think he would have been a 200 hits in a season guy. Jim Thome was never a 200 hits in a season guy, and he was past his prime by the time he was on the Twins. So, crap. Crap. I don't think Byron Buxton ever got 200 hits in a season. He's only been, healthy and good once, maybe. Crap. Luis Arraez? Actually, hold on. Luis Arraez is a hit a whole bunch of hits guy. And he did play for the Twins for a while. I think he came up with the Twins. And then they traded him to the Marlins, and then the Marlins traded him to the Padres. And Luis Arraez? Oh, boy. Maria's husband, stand up. Damn it! Blast. There are 14 dudes who have hit 200 hits in a season with the Minnesota Twins. Paul Molitor's a dude who exists. Also, Kirby Puckett did it 5 times, and Rod Carew did it 4 times. So there have been 14 times that it happened. I managed to name 9 of them. Ugh. Oh, 14 dudes, not 14 times, but okay. Yeah, Kirby Puckett, Rod Carew, Tony Oliva, dude I've heard of, Joe Cronin, dude I've just now discovered played for the team that would eventually become the Minnesota Twins. Goose Goslin, name I've heard of because of the Super League. Sadness and failure, and an incomplete, sadly immaculate grid. Oh well. Folks, that is going to do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. We have mostly a full and complete stream schedule, which I suppose means it's not complete. Anyway, here's the plan. We'll be back tomorrow for Gimmimimim and Cyberpunk. Wednesday for Gimmimimim. That is as per the usual. Thursday is a little bit up in the air because I have to go to Boston, but I only have to go to Boston for a half day. So the plan is no Gimmimimim on Thursday, and we'll come back with a late start for Dragon Age: the Veilguard. We might just wind up bumping that to Friday. Watch this space, all that good stuff. But for now, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And this, as always, is the end screen. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.